Live Happy webinar. Greetings from the team of therapists, instructional designers, and techies at MyExpertSolution. Would you like to live a happier life? We'd love to show you how. Why does happiness matter? Research tells us that depression among Americans has gone up a lot in the past 50 years. As a matter of fact, today we are 10 times more depressed than we were in the 1960s. So if depression is on the rise, what does that tell us about our level of happiness? In 2010, research shows that only 45% of people were happy at work. That's the lowest percentage in 20 years. But life is full of challenges, and work is not the only area people struggle with happiness. Luckily, a new field of research called positive psychology has taught us that you can learn to be happier at work, at home, and in your relationships. In life. We'll show you how. Maybe the question you are asking yourself is, how do I find happiness? In this short presentation, we will cover 8 key concepts to help you live a happier life. They are understanding your happiness set point, dealing with obstacles, nurturing your strengths, thriving on gratitude, taking time to play, building your relationships, sharing the joy, and facing adversity. Have you ever seen people smiling, laughing, playing, and thought, why are they so happy? How can I be as happy as they are? Maybe their happiness set point is higher than yours. What is a happiness set point? Simply put, it's your normal level of happiness. Take Lily, for example. Lily has a happiness set point. It's how happy she normally is. Doing something that gives satisfaction, like buying a new pair of shoes, will create a temporary spike in Lily's level of happiness. But over time, as the excitement of having the new shoes wears off, Lily's level of happiness returns to her normal set point. And when something bad happens, such as the death of a pet, Lily's level of happiness goes down. But just as buying the new shoes did not keep her up, the death of a pet will not keep Lily down, and as time passes, her level of happiness will gradually return to her normal set point. Where does your happiness set point come from? Research shows that 50% of a person's set point is determined by genetics. This means that if your parents and grandparents were grumpy, chances are you are genetically wired to be grumpy too. And maybe Grandpa got his grumpiness from his grandpa, the grumpiest one of all. Unfortunately, you can't change your genetics. Luckily, the other 50% of your happiness level can be changed. When you focus on the things you can change, you can raise your happiness set point, and you'll find yourself living a naturally happier life. Pipsqueak the mouse and Bomber the bird are going to help explain how to raise your happiness set point. Pipsqueak and Bomber have decided they would like to plant a garden. However, their land isn't the best for gardening. There's a stump, plenty of rocks, and the climate is very dry. Some of these things can be changed, and some cannot, but the land has great potential. Just like land, there are some things about your happiness set point that you can change, and some things you cannot. Either way, you still have the potential to become much happier. To understand your potential for happiness, you first have to know how happy you are now. Think about what your current happiness set point is. Do you live most of your life being happy, or do you find yourself experiencing some other emotions most of the time? Look at the following statements. Which one best reflects your general mood most of the time? 1. I often feel down and empty. 2. I easily get upset and irritated. 3. I constantly feel anxious or worried. 4. I find joy in almost everything I do. 5. I feel close to the people around me. 6. I am critical of myself. 7. I am critical of everything and everyone around me. Each statement reflects one of the 7 core emotions. People experience all of these emotions at some point, but many people experience some more often than others. If you often feel down and empty, then sadness is one of your core emotions. Feeling easily upset or irritated indicates that anger plays a role. If you are often anxious or worried, then fear is standing in the way of your happiness. For those who feel close to people, love is one of their core emotions. If you are often critical of yourself, shame is interfering. If you are critical of everything and everyone, disgust is one of your core emotions and you have some work to do to raise your happiness set point. But if you find joy in almost everything, you probably have a high happiness set point to begin with. If you would like help assessing your core emotions and more information on how these emotions affect your happiness level, you may take the Core Emotions Inventory found in MyExpertSolution's Live Happier workshop. If you spend a lot of time in your life experiencing an emotion other than happiness, raising your set point will help you feel happier more often. Like Pipsqueak in Bomber's Land has potential to grow a garden, you have great potential to grow happiness. Let's go over some specific ways you can raise your happiness set point. Pipsqueak and Bomber have a lot of work to do before they can grow their garden. To change your set point and grow your happiness garden, you must also put some work into it. First, you must clear your land of all the obstacles getting in the way of happiness. Obstacles like a difficult boss, an overly critical partner, or misbehaving children. You just can't remove these people from your life altogether, but you can remove the negative situation. Pipsqueak and Bomber have many rocks to deal with, a large stump in the way, and a parched piece of ground. They can easily get rid of some of these obstacles, but they have no control over others. The same is true for you. When dealing with obstacles, try to focus on the ones you can eliminate or improve. For example, if you have a difficult boss, you can improve your situation by changing jobs, moving to a new position, or working on your relationship with him. There is one kind of common obstacle that gets in the way of happiness: negative beliefs. Fortunately, it is entirely within your power to change your negative beliefs. To start working on your happiness garden, it is important to identify any negative beliefs you may have. Negative beliefs are things you believe to be true about yourself, like, "I can't do this," or "something is wrong with me." Pipsqueak is feeling overwhelmed with his garden. There is much clearing to do, and he feels like he has no hope. He believes he cannot do this. Beliefs are powerful enough to influence the way you view your current circumstances, or even other people. If you let them, negative beliefs will start to take over your positive beliefs. Pipsqueak isn't really stuck. He can do this, but his negative beliefs won't let him see otherwise. If you feel stuck like Pipsqueak, try moving in a different direction, questioning your beliefs, or even asking for help. With Bomber's help, Pipsqueak is able to begin moving rocks and sees that there is hope after all. He realizes he can grow his garden. Research has found that a powerful way to combat negative beliefs is to focus on the things you can control. In fact, engaging in activities, showing curiosity about things, and having an interest in outcomes improves your ability to display more positive emotions. Notice that Bomber and Pipsqueak have removed the rocks from their land, but there is still one more obstacle. What are they going to do with that big stump? Remember, there are some obstacles that you can get rid of or change, and there are some that you cannot. Instead of removing the stump, Bomber and Pipsqueak can work around it and focus on the things they can control. And who knows, maybe they will find a use for that stump later on. Once you have dealt with the obstacles that keep you from being happy, you can apply some action strategies that have been proven to elevate people's happiness set point. One of the best ways to raise your happiness set point is by nurturing your strengths. Everyone has core strengths, those inner characteristics that come naturally. Core strengths may include wisdom, courage, love, or kindness. Core strengths are like the seeds you plant in your happiness garden. Your happiness garden will grow best when you plant seeds based on your core strengths. When you nourish your strengths, your happiness grows. If you need help in identifying your core strengths, you can take the Core Strengths Inventory in MyExpertSolution's Live Happier workshop. You will know when you have correctly identified a core strength when you experience the following things. First, core strengths should be something that is authentic to you. When using one of your core strengths, you feel like you have found the real you. A core strength is something you feel excited and passionate about. It is something that invigorates you and makes you feel alive and energetic. It gives you joy and zest in your life. Showing gratitude is another way to raise your happiness set point. Now that their garden has been planted, Pipsqueak and Bomber give it attention each day by watering it. This attention keeps it strong and growing. Gratitude is the daily moisture any happiness garden needs to thrive. When you show gratitude for the people and things in your life, you feel happier about life. To help you get in the habit of expressing gratitude, try writing in a daily gratitude journal. Every night, set aside 10 minutes to write down 3 things that went well for you that day, and, more importantly, why they went well. If you continue to write in your daily gratitude journal, research has shown that in about 6 months your happiness set point will be higher and your depression levels will be lower. Another great way to practice expressing gratitude is to write a letter to someone who has changed your life for the better. Arrange a meeting and then read the letter to them out loud. Gratitude makes you happier when you express it. Another way to raise your level of happiness is by taking time to play. First, figure out what play means to you. Is it skiing, visiting with friends, working on cars? Playing is doing something you are passionate about that brings you joy. Pipsqueak and Bomber don't spend all their time working in the garden. They take time to do things just for the fun of it. When you play, you reconnect with things that make life pleasurable and meaningful. Another critical step to raising your happiness set point is developing positive and meaningful relationships. These relationships are a good place to turn when you are feeling down and need to restore your happiness level. Pipsqueak and Bomber are developing their relationships with Farmer Joe. Perhaps they are talking about their families or sharing a good laugh. Focusing on your relationships can improve how happy you are at work and with your family. Research has shown that when coworkers discuss topics not related to their job, it reduces work-related stress. Couples are happier when they participate in intimate interactions each day. Something as simple as sending a kind text message or squeezing your partner's hand produces positive feelings and a happier relationship. Parents can build relationships with their children simply by getting down to their level and taking time to play with them. When it comes to happiness in relationship, Dr. Martin Seligman put it well when he said, "Other people are the best antidotes to the downs in life and the single most reliable up." Once your garden has grown and is ready for harvest, it's time to share the bounty. Happy people become even happier by sharing with others. When you share your feelings, your time, and your love, you will feel closer to the people in your life, which will bring you and them more happiness. Pipsqueak and Bomber have invited a few friends over to their garden, and they are all enjoying a small feast. Looks like they found a use for that stump. Remember that even when you have reached your ideal happiness set point, life will still present challenges. In Pipsqueak and Bomber's case, Millie and Molly, a pair of unruly and ill-mannered cows, crashed the party and are trampling the crops. It would be easy for Pipsqueak, being the pessimist he is, to think negative thoughts and feel sad and defeated. Luckily, he has been practicing the techniques and strategies we have discussed, and he has a reserve of happiness and friends to lean on. Raising your happiness set point and creating a happiness reserve allows you to deal with adversity more easily, minimize negative experiences, and return to your set point quicker. Times of adversity or traumatic events can be an opportunity for learning and growth. One group of researchers has found that people actually grow after facing adversity and may be better off for it. They found that those who thrive on facing adversity do the following things. They see themselves as stronger for having made it through the difficult times effectively. They enhance their relationships as they reach out to others in their time of need. They experience a spiritual change. They find a new appreciation for life, and they are able to recognize new opportunities. Pipsqueak and Bomber have gotten rid of Millie and Molly, but they still have a problem. Looks like Bomber may have an idea to turn this situation into a new opportunity. That's right. Now he has a way to fertilize his garden. Sometimes life leaves you in bad situations, but using the techniques you have learned can help you remain positive even when things seem bad. With strategies in place to elevate your level of happiness, let's review what we have learned. 1. You can raise your happiness set point. 2. When you remove negative beliefs, your happiness level will increase. 3. You can cultivate your level of happiness by nurturing your core strengths. 4. You can practice by expressing gratitude, learning to play, and building meaningful relationships. 5. When you are happy, you enjoy the benefits and share with others. 6. When you are happy, you are more capable of handling difficult times. Much like preparing, planting, and watering a garden, when you actively work on cultivating your happiness, it will grow. Learn more about how to raise your happiness set point by participating in MyExpertSolution's online happiness coaching sessions.